Hey guys, welcome back. It's Chris Wilson with upstreamvitality.com, and in the first two videos that I was talking about on regenerating the cell membrane, if you haven't watched video 1 and video 2, please go there and watch those, and I'll leave the links up here so you can click on them and get to the video. But they have an abundance of crucial information to help you understand regenerating the cell membrane in order for you to achieve your optimal health. And there's a reason behind that. Inflammation is at the root cause of all these modern diseases and epidemics that we see today. You can just type in on Google. I'd rather you go to PubMed, which is a public medical database of peer-reviewed meta-analysis articles from a score of MDs, NDs, doctors, you name it, PhDs, and are a Google Scholar as well. Don't just do Google because you might get some weird stuff, but I wanted to share some information with you that were in these other two books that I have. One is the Cellular Healing Diet by Dr. Dan Pompa, and I wanted to read to you cooking with fats and oils and turning good fats into bad fats and stuff. So whether an oil is mechanically processed or chemically extracted is an important factor that needs to be considered. Chemical extraction uses toxic solvents during the extraction process, which in itself is very damaging to the fats. So this is what makes fats go rancid and bad. And then naturally refined oils, as we know in the stores that we see that are naturally refined, they oxidize less. You know, that's what we're talking about, free radicals and oxidation. So when you're cooking with canola oil, vegetable oil, these other seed oils, be very careful and be sure to look at their smoke point, because when an oil starts smoking, it's oxidizing and it's becoming pro-inflammatory. And when we cook our foods in a pro-inflammatory oil, guess what it's doing? It's causing and wreaking havoc at a cellular systemic level within our body. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. And we need to remove the bad fats and replace the bad fats with good fats. Remember I said earlier, 95 or 90% of all of our cells in our body are made up of fat and protein, but the majority of it is fat. Bad fats such as hydrogenated and partially hydrogenated oils or trans fatty acids and rancid vegetable oils are linked to cellular congestion, leading to cancer, chronic fatigue, and a neurotoxic syndrome. Bad fats are also linked to chronic inflammation, which is the key to 21st century medicine, okay? Heart disease, stroke, cancer, diabetes, etc. are the leading causes of death in the United States, and inflammation is at the very root. And this is why it's so important to understand how to regenerate the cell membrane to drive down this inflammation, okay? All right, so these are some high heat oils, 400 degrees and above, that you can cook with these. They can be used for frying. Almond oil, you want to use naturally refined only. Avocado oil, coconut oil, grape seed oil, expeller pressed, naturally refined only. Macadamia oil, peanut oil, high oleic, safflower oil, high oleic. You have to make sure that these are what's in the ingredients. Sunflower oil, high oleic, expeller pressed, and naturally refined only. Medium heat, so oils that have a smoke point of 350 to 400 degrees, and you can only use these as a quick fry. Butter or ghee, coconut oil, red palm oil, I have all those. Olive oil, extra virgin, expeller pressed, first pressed, cold pressed. Bragg's is the best one that I have found so far. There's some other ones out there, but Bragg's is the most convenient for me. Let's see. So fat does not make you fat. It's the inability to burn fat, which can be a hormonal problem, okay? Leptin is the fat burning hormone. Insulin is the fat storage hormone. Fat burning, again, is regulated by a hormone called leptin. This is coming from his book now, and explained in the Cellular Healing Diet. Myth number 2, butter is bad. No, it's actually, butter contains arachidonic acid, which is important for cellular and brain function, and it also contains CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, which aids in fat burning. Imagine that. So listen to this. This is myth number 3. One bag of French fries now and again will not hurt anyone. The half-life of trans fats or hydrogenated fats is 51 days. This means after 51 days and a half, or actually this means after 51 days, half of the negative effects of this man-made fat have been processed. So it only takes 25 days to process half of the French fries you just ate, one bag. So it takes 51 days 102 days to actually get that out of your system and process it completely. So the body needs an additional 51 days, or a total of 102, to remove the majority of the trans fats and the negative effects, such as decreased nerve transmission, decreased focus, and increase in hyperactivity, ADHD, decreased immunity, why people get sick when they eat a lot of fast food. Change their diet and switch over to whole fruits and vegetables, and all of a sudden, voila, they're a lot better. Sorry, there's a really beautiful butterfly that's huge, yellow and black, flying around. Wow, it's big. Oh, that'd be so cool if it flew behind me. But I wanted to show you the ratios of omega-6 to omega-3. And one of the very first books I read coming into the realm of holistic health, or just natural health, or just better information on regaining my own health back and educating me on foods, was this book here, Grain Brain by Dr. David Perlmutter, and another one by Dr. William Davis called Wheat Belly. Those two are probably in my top 5 as of right now. And I want to read to you here. He's got on page 76 of his book, and this is the first edition. He actually has a revised edition out. You'll see this chart right up here, and my focus is actually focused on my face, so it's not going to focus on here because I've got it locked, but I'll read it to you. It says, it's got a chart. In one column it has oil, in the middle column omega-6 content, and then in the right column the omega-3 content. So you're going to see the percentages of omega-6 to omega-3. So we got flaxseed oil has 14% omega-6 content, 57% omega-3 content. Now the next 3 have 0% omega-3. Peanut, safflower, and sesame oil. Peanut oil is 32% omega-6, safflower is 75% omega-6, and sesame is 42% omega-6. Soybean oil. Now most soybean oils that you see on bottles are GMO or heavily bound in glyphosate, the herbicide that Roundup uses. Soybean is 51% omega-6 and 7% omega-3. Sunflower oil is 65% omega-6, 0% omega-3. Walnut oil, 52% omega-6 content and 10% omega-3 content. So, as we know, seafood is a wonderful source of omega-3 fatty acids, and even wild meat like beef, lamb, venison, and buffalo contain this fabulous fat. But a caveat to consider. This is by Dr. David Perlmutter, I'm quoting. I don't know what that was. If animals are fed grains, usually corn and soybeans, which are GMO, they will not have they will not have adequate omega-3 in their diets, and their meat will be deficient in these vital nutrients. Hence, the call for consuming grass-fed beef and wild-caught fish. So what's that going to do to the beef? It's going to drive up their levels of omega-6 content in their fat. So whenever you're buying meat at the store and it's 92% fat, 92% lean and 8% fat, or 85 and 15, the fat content within that beef is actually altered, and it's going to have a higher level of omega-6. So educate yourself. So beyond dementia and other neurological issues have been associated with low fat intake and cholesterol levels in particular. In a recent report published by the National Institutes of Health, researchers compared memory function in elderly individuals to cholesterol levels. They found that people who did not suffer from dementia had much better memory function if they had higher levels of cholesterol. The conclusion of the report crisply stated, quote, "High cholesterol is associated with better memory function," end quote. In the discussion that followed, the researchers indicated, quote, "It is possible that individuals who survived beyond age 85, especially those with high cholesterol, may be more robust," end quote. I've got a lot more I can read on that, but this book is just, oh my goodness, it will really open up your mind to a new world of thinking. And when you do that, you'll want to begin to start searching and educating yourself. And so this is kind of like the conclusion to part 1 and part 2 of really regenerating the cell membrane, and that meta-oxy test, which I can get for you, so you can urinate or pee in this little test vial, and depending on what color it turns, it will tell you if you have systemic cellular inflammation at high levels, or moderate levels, or low levels. And the idea, obviously, is we want that way down to be in low levels. And you know, your diet has a big play, a big factor. It's a big variable in your cellular inflammation. And so as a true detox practitioner, I tell you, I tell you the truth that regenerating the cell membrane is crucial to regaining your health and to lowering chronic inflammation to help protect yourself against dementia, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, stroke, heart disease, being pre-diabetic, diabetic type 2, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, autoimmune conditions such as lupus, skin conditions like eczema, and rheumatoid arthritis. Now, listen, you have to first remove the source, folks. You've got to remove the interference from the body so it can have that ability to heal itself, okay? If you're trying to get rid of all these systemic inflammatory problems and you're still eating a standard American diet high in omega-6, or you still have levels of mercury off the charts, lead, aluminum, arsenic, cadmium, thallium, you name it, and then you've got hidden infections from infected root canals, cavitations from extracted teeth. Ant was biting me. Or you've got mercury fillings, silver dental fillings. Man, you've got to remove that source of toxicity before you can even begin on getting well. Now, there's certain things we can do to help you while you're on your path to getting all that stuff taken out and removed, but you must remove the interference or the source of toxicity from the body in order to get well. And remember, you cannot get well, you can never truly get your life back until you fix the cell. It is at a cellular level that we must truly detox. That sets us apart from other detoxification processes. And I'll be upfront and honest with you, it takes time. You're not gonna get your life back in 10 days, 3 days, 3 months, maybe even 10 months. You might feel a lot better in 3 to 10 months, but it normally takes years. I just wanna be flat out honest with you because I'm not trying to hide anything, and sometimes it's that hard truth that people can't swallow. And oftentimes people dramatically change into an exercise regimen and a diet protocol, and they feel better right away. Well, no duh. They're going to feel better right away because they're doing something that's actually beneficial for their body, and it's the complete opposite of what they were doing. So if they're sedentary and now they're actually working out and exercising, yes, they're going to feel better. It's going to allow their body to create more ATP, but we got to fix the cellular inflammation. If they're eating a standard American diet and they switch over to eating more whole foods like fruits and vegetables and grass-fed meats, yes, they're going to feel better because they're eating real food. Something we've strayed away from because we've got a McDonald's, a Starbucks, a Burger King, a Chick-fil-A at every single corner, and it's tempting. And there's an emotional connection there that it's very hard, I know. But once you retrain your taste buds into eating real foods, you ain't gonna want that stuff. And especially when you see what that stuff does to you over time, it builds up systemic inflammation. So I really hope y'all like this video. If you do and you found it beneficial, please share it. Visit me at upstreamvitality.com. Help me spread this news. Help me help other people by giving them a true cellular detox program that will get their life back. I thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend coming up, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.